Hello, gorgeous souls. I am Minnie, and welcome to the Mindfulness Lifestyle, and in particular, Qigong meditation and mindful practices. So, today I just wanted to share a little bit about me and my background. So, I am a former psychologist and project manager who turned spiritual energy, thank you, alchemist. So, previously, through my experience, I've helped over about 3,000 clients with their mental health and well being, primarily through psychology. And then I shifted into what I call energy therapy. So that is using a blend of Qigong, meditation, mindfulness, NLP, neuro linguistic programming, or coaching, or psychotherapy with Reiki as well. So I am Reiki attuned. So I am an emotional energy coach primarily and spiritual alchemist in the personal and spiritual development arena, growth industries, I guess you could say. And I mainly support women to have that emotional energy and freedom as a highly sensitive being so that you can have that inner connection with yourself and spiritually so you can manage your own energy as a highly sensitive person. So that's managing your energetic capacity, boundaries, energetic protection, your mindset, those types of things, so that you can lead a fulfilling and rich life. And, I understand what it's like to be emotionally stressed because I was tossed around in a sea of emotions, big emotions with that fight, flight, freeze energy that activates that nervous system until I discovered ways to manage my own emotional energy and mindset and have that spiritual connection in a kind and loving way without the stories, right? So what I'm trying to say is I haven't always been where I am today, and most of us probably haven't either. And for me, I think some people stumble across mindfulness in a course, in an ebook, at a yoga class or therapy or whatever it is. And for me, I found it in a temple. I found it in a Buddhist temple in respite after a relationship breakdown with nothing but my car, a suitcase, and $50. So it was in 2001. I ended up driving up to the temple. I still remember going into that car park and it was dusk. It was a beautiful pinky kind of dusk, and it felt like the gates of the temple were putting their arms around me, and I could just feel the warmth and the sun on my back, even though it was at dusk at that time. I didn't know where to go at that time. I didn't know who to turn to. So all I knew is that I had to go to this temple. And even though I was very sensitive to energy, I'd been Reiki attuned in 1993, right? Back in the 1990s. I really feel like I'm showing my age now. And, I'd studied psychology because at that point, 2001, I was studying a master's of clinical psychology. I just needed somewhere to go for respite, for healing, and nowhere to turn to. And I had previously been to this Buddhist temple because I would help this Buddhist nun drive her there and take her there while I was doing charity work in my clinical psychology in a children's hospital at the time. And so the monk at the time said, I could stay there for a few weeks as long as I could help around the temple, right? So when I arrived, I was just so grateful for a warm meal and somewhere to sleep and rest and I guess just heal. So I was taken to the dining room and had this at this table, and I just had this bowl of like steaming jasmine rice, which was just so beautiful, and tofu and, hot vegetables, that it just felt like it had been cooked with love, that I just had tears rolling down my face just in gratitude for the kindness of the people there. And, after some rest, I awoke to the first time to the sound of this gong, and going into the main shrine of the temple for chanting, which is basically like energetic vibration and resonance of clearing, of resetting your system. And I really strained to grasp the words at that time because they were in Chinese and there was no translations back in that time. To overthinking, it just got rid of that overthinking of why I was there with that relationship breakdown, those cutting words, that emotional bruising, that mental destruction from leaving a toxic relationship, and which I'd felt like it had just shattered my spirit, to allow myself to heal. And after that, we were meeting in this inner quadrangle of the temple for me, learning for the first time Tai Chi, walking and sitting meditation, and Qigong. And this was all in 2001, and I was about 27 at the time. And when I learned that practice for the first time, it was so profound. Like, it was just like my mind was still, and that I could be present. And just being in that stillness was just so healing in and of itself. And it was like a feeling I felt I had searched for most of my life. And yet here I was, just getting a glimpse of it in this quadrangle, in this silence, being held in this sacred space to just let unravel whatever needed to unravel. Even though I was studying Masters of Clinical Psychology, don't forget that. So that was a very interesting piece. And I think some moments in your life, they just change you forever. And for me, this was one of them. This was one of them. And this was the very start of my journey with the ancient Eastern practices, not only to return to the inner alchemy of that harmony, that peace, that quiet of what's already been there inside of me. And I know it's inside of you too. We just excavate it. So I knew that if I could do it, that I could share this and help other people. And that's absolutely my intention for you, that you can just heal your heart and your energy and let it open and an emotional blossoming like the lotus flower in your heart, and have your mind as expansive as the sky, and just feeling that lightness and ease that comes with this beautiful Qigong practice. Just so honored to share it with you. And I will also share my journey of being in a psychology ward as a psychologist. And it was basically from the temple to the psych ward. And I'll share that as another story, which you will find very interesting about that experience. So if this is your intro to me, welcome. And yeah, thank you for allowing me to share this journey and my experience with you, and can't wait to see how this helps you in your life. Many blessings from my heart to yours, and bye for now.